We're heading back to Kansas, Toto, on this week's episode of COS Now.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
On Thursday, Convention of States achieved a monumental victory years in the making. Here's Rita Peters to break it down for us.
United States District Court for the District of Kansas has just delivered a decisive victory for Convention of States proponents. The court has just struck down a provision in the Kansas Constitution that purported to require a 2/3 supermajority vote for the Kansas legislature to apply for an Article 5 convention.
This brings Kansas into alignment with court precedent, which says that states cannot place a higher bar on initiating the Article 5 convention process than what the Constitution requires.
That means for Convention of States, as we've already passed our resolution through the Senate with a supermajority, a 2/3 majority, it is now pending on the House floor because they have 2-year legislative sessions, hasn't been voted on. But what this actually means is all we need is a simple majority in the House of Representatives in Kansas.
Although you'll have to wait until January for legislative action in Kansas, we recently learned that Massachusetts will take up COS Action's Article 5 application this Thursday. Tune in to COS Live on Convention of States social media accounts for live coverage. On Halloween, PBS released a long-form video on the Article 5 convention process. Although they gave significant airtime to COS detractors, they also interviewed our president, Mark Meckler.
We have a national debt now exceeding $36 trillion. Our deficit is almost at $2 trillion annually. Why do you think that an Article 5 convention would be the best method to deal with this issue?
It's really about human incentives. When you look at politicians, they have no incentive to balance the budget. There's a constituent for every dollar spent, and this is a nonpartisan issue. It's on both sides of the aisle, maybe different types of spending, but they get yelled at if they cut spending, and nobody praises them if they cut spending. So the incentive system is designed to keep spending in place. And so if you create a constitutional mandate that they balance the budget, they'll be able to do so, and they don't take the blame for it because it's constitutionally mandated.
And now it's time for the final 5. Number 1. To ring in the holiday season, the one and only Rita Peters joined the November episode of COS at Home to break down last week's election results and set the stage for 2026.
Kansas definitely one to watch moving into 2026. Next on my list has to be Ohio. We have had a really great forward movement in both chambers in Ohio already this year.
Number 2. COS supporters continue to garner local media coverage in states like Idaho and Wyoming to spread the word about Article 5. Here's a clip from a new TV interview with a COS volunteer in New Mexico.
One of the reasons we started is to get away from kings, to where that power was set right there and that king
where it was centralized.
Where it was centralized. Here we're wanting to get that power out to the people so they can make decisions for themselves.
Number 3, the Michigan team is reporting the introduction of 34 Ready legislation, which would prepare the state for the first ever Article 5 convention. Number 4, in an effort to promote civic education, the Kansas team honored Harvey County students in the 3rd annual Constitution Essay Contest. And number 5, here are some of my favorite photos from grassroots heroes across the nation. Until next time, this is Jake Fay signing off from another edition of COS Now.